If you were around in the 90s and early 2000s, then you saw firsthand the popularization of the monster catching, raising, and battling genre. Pokemon, of course, was the poster boy for this, and many just straight up tried to copy that formula. But there were other games that tried to find success in this genre in their own unique way. The one I want to talk about today is Monster Rancher 2. Where the Pokemon games had a significant focus on storytelling, coupled with a simple yet deep monster raising system, the Monster Rancher games had little in the way of storytelling aspects. Instead, it focused almost entirely on the monster raising part. And trust me, it wasn't easy. Unlike Pokemon, who would still be with you no matter how much time passed, the monsters in this game would eventually leave you forever. And if you didn't raise them correctly, they would pass away sooner rather than later. The first entry on the PS1, simply titled Monster Rancher, created the overall system, and the sequel, Monster Rancher 2, improved on its predecessor in every conceivable way. The gameplay was more polished, there were more things to do, more secrets to unlock, and just more fun to be had. There were more monsters to train, obviously, and there were all sorts. Cute ones, cool ones, quirky ones, and weird ones. No matter who you were, there was probably a monster that you liked. Some monsters were not playable, as they only existed as enemies, but still, your available choices were quite diverse. Altogether, there were 408 monsters in Monster Rancher 2. If you played through everything that the game had to offer, then you will be able to either raise or fight against each and every one of them. Except one. There was one monster that you couldn't find no matter what you did. The monster known as the Dominator of the Pare Pare Jungle. The monster known as King Ape. First, let's talk about what we know. In Monster Rancher 2, the vast majority of your time will be spent training your monster. Each time you do a basic drill, you spend 1 week of in-game time, and your monster gets a little more tired than before. The monsters in this game don't really have traditional levels, like the kind you see in other role-playing games. Instead, each stat itself has a level, which you can improve through training. Of course, battling against other monsters is also a thing you can do in Monster Rancher 2. You can get money and potentially a higher rank for winning. The money you will likely spend on food and items for your monster, so you can keep training them, so they can fight in higher level tournaments, and you can get an idea of the basic gameplay loop this game offers. Just like in other games of this kind, your monsters have access to different skills, which you utilize in battle. Most monsters will usually start with some basic attacks, but they all have the potential to learn more. But you can't teach them new moves just through basic drills, however. You will have to send them to special, month-long, grueling training sessions in specific locations, which will definitely impact your monster's lifespan in a negative way. Remember, monsters in this game do not live perpetually and will pass on one day. If you let them get tired or stressed too often, then you are actively reducing the amount of time they have to live. But learning new skills is essential for competing with the hardest enemies in the game, so this special training is a necessary evil that you will have to live with. It also isn't free, by the way. Once you decide to go through with it, you will be asked to choose a location. Each location will offer a different type of skill that your monster can learn, as well as large stat gains in a certain stat. The training is held over 4 weeks, and just like normal drills, there is no guarantee your monster will be successful. The chance of successful training during the last 2 weeks is lower than the first 2, as the training gets harder. If your monster does complete the full 4 weeks successfully, there is a chance for your monster to face a wild enemy residing in the area. You won't have any control over your monster during this fight, of course. If it wins, you can get some money for your trouble. Each location is unique in terms of what it offers. Sending your monster to the Mandy Desert will help them learn a strong yet usually inaccurate move, while sending them to the Pare Pare Jungle, well, I think we've heard that name before. Now, let's see what we know about King Ape. We know that he is one of these wild enemy monsters. Each area has different wild enemies you can run into after your monster completes all 4 weeks of training. Which one you end up facing has an element of RNG to it, but each area is supposed to contain 3 unique, high-ranking wild enemies. For example, in the Mandy Desert, you can potentially run into the Burning Wall, Sand Golem or Sniper. And in the Pare Pare Jungle, you could run into Mad Clay, Wild Saurian, or supposedly the mysterious King Ape. I said supposedly because King Ape isn't there, no matter how much people, including the most hardcore players of the game, tried to find him. So where is King Ape? Perhaps he is just a strange urban legend, like the kind that used to exist back in the day, such as the mythical Pokegods. But that wouldn't make sense, because we know that King Ape's data does already exist in the game, including the in-game model. But to be fair, just like other games from that era, Monster Rancher 2 is no stranger to weird anomalies. For example, in the Japanese version of Monster Rancher 2, there was an entire minigame associated with a peripheral device known as the Pocket Station. This minigame allowed you to gain access to certain special monsters, which you would not otherwise have access to. Although the Pocket Station was intended to be released outside of Japan, these plans never came to fruition. So the Monster Rancher 2 developers had to quickly get rid of everything relating to the Pocket Station in-game for the English release. This, unfortunately, also meant that there was no way to get those special monsters. In another instance, there is a seemingly important item that is found in the game, which doesn't do anything at all, and whatever purpose it was supposed to fulfill never reached completion. Perhaps King Ape is a similar programming oddity, a concept that never completely materialized, although the remnants of its existence can still be found in the final game. And perhaps that is the end of it. Except someone found him. Now how did that happen? During the time when Monster Rancher 2 came out, we were still in the early days of the internet. In those dark times, communities for games existed mostly on forums, and the main one for Monster Rancher games was called Monster Rancher Metropolis, which is still around in an archived state even today. This was the place to be for all Monster Rancher fans. There were a number of highly dedicated players here who had hundreds, if not thousands of hours of playtime altogether, and they had scoured every inch of this game. They tried everything they could think of to try and find the elusive dominator of the Pare Pare jungle, from numerous systematic approaches to trying to find King Ape to trying to find clues in the data of the game. And yet, each and every time, they came up empty-handed. Until one day, a relatively new user, going by the name of Master Drew 2004, came around and stated that he had found King Ape quite easily. Of course, it was a little difficult for the veteran players to accept such a claim, especially since the user had no proof beyond their word. And then, out of nowhere, another new user chimed in to say that they had also found King Ape, but again, they had no proof. It was unfortunate because, apparently, their cousin deleted their only game save. Such an excuse is on par with "my dog ate my homework" and was met with a reasonable amount of derision, understandably. But then, the second user doubled down on their claim, for they had started a brand new save file, and they had, apparently, run into King Ape again. So let's get this straight. A number of highly regarded experts of the game had spent a ridiculous amount of time trying to look for the ape, but could never manage to do it. And here were a couple of individuals who, almost without breaking a sweat, had done it. Now, I know what you're thinking. People lying on the internet is as old a thing as the internet itself. People have been telling tall tales about video game secrets for a very long time. And obviously, this claim was also met with a reasonable degree of skepticism. And then, soon after the last claim, and you all won't believe this, yet another individual, going by the name of Blade Runner, claimed that they had found King Ape. In just a few days, multiple people found something that no one could before, without any specific guidelines or unique methods. And while everybody was trying to figure this out, a fourth individual, presumably another new account, chimed in and said that, incredibly, they have also found King Ape. Now, it is understandable for everyone else to be skeptical about all this. For all we know, this could just be one individual with multiple accounts trying to troll everyone. This was nothing new. But for a moment, let's try to figure this out. All of the individuals who said they had found King Ape had some similarities regarding the conditions at play when they did. Number 1. It was on a relatively new save file, which means they only had a few in-game years of playtime on it. Number 2. The monster was usually a B rank one, which means that they had not reached the higher ranks yet. Due to those conditions, certain monsters also haven't been unlocked by this point in the game. Could it be that meeting the conditions to unlock a certain monster caused King Ape to disappear forever? Or could it be that King Ape targeted newer players for some reason and just permanently disappeared after a certain number of years had passed in the game? Or perhaps the king only targeted weaker monsters, ones who had not surpassed the B rank yet. But how would the king know about the rank of the monster? Regarding the first point though, there might be something there, because there is something else in the game which is affected by the in-game time, and can be, potentially, unattainable if you miss it. The Mach Seeds are an item which you need to unlock the Mach, the tree monster. They are given to you by the item lady after certain conditions have been met. But if you don't visit the item shop often enough, and if you don't fulfill the conditions in time, then due to a glitch, you will never be able to get the item in question. Could King Ape's appearance be affected by something similar? This would explain why long-term players could not find him, and only new players could. Or maybe there was some kind of event tied to the Pocket Station peripheral, which I mentioned some time ago. Could it be that King Ape was accidentally locked out of the game because of the lack of its functionality in the US version? But then again, no credible Japanese players had stepped forward in the past to show proof that they had found King Ape and that the Pocket Station was indeed tied to his appearance. In fact, some of the veteran players had played the Japanese version with a Pocket Station and were still unable to find him. Or is it perhaps that the answer is much simpler? That all of the individuals who allegedly found King Ape are simply lying about it? Any proof that they would be willing to provide, such as screenshots or pictures of their TV screens, could easily be doctored after all. But really, we shouldn't just believe anything we see on the internet. We need to look for the proof ourselves. So at the end of the day, I think that is what we will have to do. Following in the footsteps of the individuals who had found King Ape before, we are going to start a new game file and get a monster to rank B. This shouldn't be too hard, as long as the monster we pick gets along with us. After answering a few strange questions, we are off to the town, where we can get our monster. Although it doesn't appear that we need a specific type of monster, I figured who better to find an ape than another ape. I've never personally raised an ape in this game before, so this should be interesting. I've decided to name him King Bobo. He will be our hunter. Such grace, well, that's terrifying. First, we will have to spend a lot of time training him, as Bobo's stats aren't exactly ready for the B rank. You don't start off the game with a lot of money, and you need a lot of money to raise a monster, so we will need him to fight to earn his keep. The first year is rather uneventful, as most of it was spent just slowly training Bobo. Before I knew it, his first birthday was here and… oh god, please stop. He hasn't improved much because, to be honest, he isn't the most exciting monster to train, as he fails quite a lot. And he wants to play all the time. I suppose it makes some sense, as he is still pretty young. He actually wants to ask if I will play with him before doing a drill, almost like he won't do it if I say no. Well, I don't think he has earned it yet. Come on, Bobo, you are better than this. But I can't yell at that face. But we are about to run out of money, so he needs to start earning. That's it, Bobo! Slap him! Well, that's some money at least. We might be able to keep the roof over our heads for a little longer. But no, Bobo, no playtime yet. Bobo is 2 years old now. Ugh. He is up to rank D at this point, so we are a little closer to where we need to be. He is able to stomp D rank opponents pretty easily, so he is ready to go to rank C. Some opponents don't even want to face him, and I do get it, to be honest. Fights against rank C opponents seem a little too close for comfort, but Bobo appears to have it under control. Before long, he hits the 3-year mark, and he is only 1 rank away from beginning the hunt. Not yet, Bobo. Someday, maybe, but not yet. I don't think Bobo even knows the right way to do this anymore. He is a natural cheater, but he is still slapping his opponents and it still seems to be working. And flicking his stuff seems to work too. He is just barely strong enough to handle the strongest enemies at this level, although it can be very close at times. But he is, eventually, able to get past them. And finally, after plenty of work and a lot of failures, Bobo is able to get to rank B. Although we have fulfilled the needed requirements, Bobo needs to be a little stronger to actually complete the special training and get a chance to find the king. But training Bobo does not get any easier. He either cheats or fails most of the time, and he still needs to fight because it is pretty expensive to train him. But I think he is strong enough to do it now. I think he is about ready to go on the hunt. Let's feed him a magic banana for good luck, cause he will need it. It is time for King Bobo to go into the jungle to look for a fellow king who might be hiding there. Will he be there, waiting for us, or was it all an elaborate hoax? Let's find out. Stage 1 is pretty easy for Bobo to clear, so that's good. He gets through stage 2 as well. Come on, Bobo, you can do this! Oh dear, I think Bobo isn't ready yet. It's okay, he'll get stronger. Year 5 for Bobo. Will this be the year? I train him more because he obviously wasn't ready for the jungle last time. He also fights a few more battles to get himself ready mentally or something. And then another magic banana for good luck, and it is time for the second attempt. The first 2 weeks are not a problem, once again. But this is where he failed last time. Has he improved since then? He has indeed! Yes! And now, the final stage. That's a big monkey. And I guess Bobo has to mess with him for some reason. Uh-oh. Oh, that doesn't look good. But he is trying, he just needs a little more. After some more training, will he get the job done this time? Come on, Bobo, you can do this. Clever, Bobo, nicely done. I think he got it. Yes, he did it. Is this it? Are we about to do it? Are we about to find King Ape? That does not look like the dominator of the jungle. But it's okay. There isn't supposed to be a guaranteed chance of him showing up after all, so we just have to try again. Now that we know Bobo can complete the training, we just have to trust in our hunter to find the one we are looking for. Bobo is 6 years old now. This has to be the year. Oh, come on, Bobo. You can't still fall for this? Okay, let's speed run through the rest of the jungle and... I can't believe this. Maybe we should have gone with the big monkey here as our hunter. I'm not sure how many attempts it has been at this point. Dozens? Hundreds? The jungle is vast, and Bobo is pretty stupid. Oh, he got the big monkey! Is this the moment of truth? Does King Ape exist? Will we find him? Oh, for the love of... Maybe it was all a joke to begin with. Master Drew 44, Kyo, Blade Master, maybe they were all just trolls, and we fell for it. Maybe we missed something important along the way, or perhaps it had something to do with the pocket station after all. Maybe Bobo is at fault. Maybe the true king does not prefer to face cheaters. It could be anything, really. Perhaps we will never truly know. Oh, there he is. It turns out that Kyo, Blade Master, and the rest were actually onto something after all. There indeed was a programming glitch, similar to the one with the item related to unlocking the mock monster. The glitch that causes King Ape to disappear forever is also caused by something in the item shop. As you play the game, new items become available every once in a while, like the magic banana, which isn't available at the beginning of the game. There is an item that becomes available after the magic banana. If you don't find King Ape before that item becomes available, then you will never be able to find him. This explains why the long-term players could not find our king. Not to mention that most people don't go on the special training much at all early in the game, which is why hardly anybody found him to begin with. In the recent modern port of the game, Monster Rancher 2 DX, this glitch, along with a bunch of other small problems, were fixed. So if you want to find the king easier, you should be playing that port instead of the PS1 version. King Bobo was a nuisance to train, and he didn't make it easy, but in the end, he did get the job done. He fulfilled his destiny, and I feel like he deserves a reward. So I will give him the one thing he has been craving for this whole time. King Bobo, let's play. Oh god, what the heck is going on? What is he throwing at me? I don't know how to play this. Ouch! Dear God, I hope this is just mud. Hello everyone, it is I, the Editor Man. Monster Rancher 2 has a special place in my heart. I played it for the first time a really long time ago, and I remember Lisa Shock helping me out in the beginning. She was a really nice person. I definitely remember that. So anyway, if you enjoyed the video, do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It does help. And if you're into Digimon, check out the other channel. There's plenty of Digimon stuff there. And now, here's a quick shout out to my wonderful patrons. Thank you Hero Emblem, Blake CN1, Vanilla, Yog, Svastimatus, Carl Dean, and Jonathan Harley for your continued support. And here's a special shout out to McDivil and Cool Name, a couple of awesome friends of the channel. The power of your friendship keeps Nerdhood safe and sound. And now, for an ultra strong shout out to the incredible people who keep the digital world safe and sound. A huge thank you to the amazing duo of Shamine and Derpin Goose for your support. You are both the best, like no one ever was. Well, that's all I got for you today. Thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.